Hello everyone, my name is Aarti and you're watching hwnews. You come home from a long day of work and turn on television to watch news to take a stock of the entire situation, what happened in the day and what are the news that you see. One channel talks about love jihad, conversion, other doesn't come out of the temple, masjid and madrasa debate. Some other is always busy spinning Hindu-Muslim narrative in everything, and some other channels are conducting noisy debates where no one can hear what the other person is saying. This is pretty much the same situation on majority of the mainstream news channels today. Let me remind you that despite these channels being called Godi media, that is propagating the government's line, the government itself had told them enough is enough. But things haven't changed much, have they? Now, in a latest, the Supreme Court has once again slammed the media and has asked some tough questions in stinging words. How many times have you taken off anchors? Have you dealt with the anchors in the way you send a message? This is what the Supreme Court yesterday asked NBSA, which acts as a regulatory authority in case of broadcast media. Now, the Supreme Court last year too had made some serious observations on media bias and media ethics. Let's get into it in detail. But before that, many of the mainstream channels who are today being questioned by the apex court are TRP driven. And in the TRP rat race, whatever sells, sells. Oftentimes it is hate. But we don't run after TRP. We care about bringing stories to you. Last month, we spoke about issues of people of Dharavi. We spoke about the issues of slums in Mumbai's Jamrushinagar. We also showed you a story of farmer who was on the verge of suicide in remote Maharashtra. All these require time, effort, and of course, money. Unlike big media, we don't have deep pockets, but we do have you, our viewers. So please support us. Go to our website www.hwnews.in/subscribe us and you will find multiple payment options available. Choose the plan that suits your budget and pay us. Because when you pay, you help independent media like us not only survive but also thrive. Now, coming back to the story. The Supreme Court on Friday was hearing about the progress in the investigation regarding the hate speech case. A bench comprising Justices K.M. Joseph and B.V. Nagaratna was hearing a batch of petitions seeking action against hate speech. The broad category cases were the petitions filed against UPSC Jihad campaign by Sudarshantv TV, the petitions filed against Corona Jihad campaign in the wake of the Tablighi Jamaat issue, the petitions filed against dharmasansad meetings where anti-Muslim statements were allegedly made, and petitions seeking broad guidelines to curb hate speech. During the hearing, Advocate Shadan Farasat highlighted the issue of strengthening the regulatory network under the Cable TV Regulations Act against programs spewing hate speech. At this point, Justice K.M. Joseph turned to the counsel representing the NBSA and asked what has been done about the hate speech programs. He said, "Everything is driven by TRP. Channels are competing against each other. They sensationalize some things. You create divisions in society because of the visual element. The visual medium can influence you much more than a newspaper. The audience, are they mature enough to see this content?" Justice Joseph further said, if the anchors of the TV program are themselves part of the problem, then what can be done? NBSA should not be biased. How many times have you taken off anchors? This is what he asked the NDSA counsel. Now, pointing to the coverage of the Air India peeing incident, Justice Joseph said, when a TV channel calls people, they call people names. For example, in the recent incident of a man caught peeing in an aeroplane, the kind of word they used, he is under trial. Please don't denigrate anyone. Everyone has dignity. He also said that the channels don't allow people to speak equally. People who they don't want speaking are muted. Others go unchallenged. When you claim freedom of speech and expression, you must act like you deserve it. Otherwise, what dignity is left for us? This is what Justice Joseph stated. He also questioned if the anchors of the TV program are themselves part of the problem, then what can be done? NBSA should not be biased. How many times have you taken off anchors? Furthermore, he also said that offending anchors should be taken off air and hefty fines should be imposed on the channels which are violating the program code. He said, in a live program, the key to the fairness of the program is held by the anchor. If the anchor is not fair, the anchor would want to project some side, would mute other side, won't question one side. It's an indisputable insignia of bias. Media people must learn. They have to see that they are occupying positions of great strength and what they are saying impacts the whole country. They should realize that they have no right to speak their mind whichever way they want. The judge further said, you hit them monetarily where it matters. Now, in another case, the Supreme Court also questioned the Delhi police regarding its progress in the investigation in hate speech case over the Hinduyuvavahini event organized under the leadership of Suresh Chavanke, editor of Sudarshantv in Delhi in December 2021. During the course of the hearing, the court had some scathing remarks for media and sharp questions for the Broadcasting Authority. Noting that the FIR was filed 5 months after the incident and no charge sheet has been filed yet, a division bench comprising Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud and Justice P.S. Narasimha directed the investigating officer to place on record the steps taken in the investigation in the matter within a period of 2 weeks. Well, in the last hearing as well, the Supreme Court had slammed the media for the kind of coverage it does. It had said, and I quote, "We cannot give hate any air. It is the role of the news anchor to see hate does not happen on air," and also asked, why was the government mute spectator when this was happening? Now, in that hearing and this hearing, 3 months have passed. But has anything changed? Do let us know in the comment box below. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.hwnews.in.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.